KFC has over 4,400 stores in the US alone, making over $14 million a day in sales. But did you know KFC faced major controversy over its chicken, with accusations of using growth hormones? Some even claimed the chickens were unnatural, something KFC firmly denies. We'll get to the bottom of that later. But first, let's see how this global fried chicken empire even began. It all started in 1930 at a modest gas station in Corbin, Kentucky. That's where Harlan Sanders, the man we now know as the Colonel, began serving meals to travelers passing through town. No fancy kitchen, no grand vision, just a man who loved good cooking. In 1939, Sanders made his breakthrough. He discovered pressure frying, a technique that made chicken juicy inside, crispy outside, and ready in half the time. This innovation would change everything. By 1952, the first KFC franchise opened its doors, and Sanders watched as his small-town recipe grew into something much bigger than he could have imagined. Today, KFC has spread far beyond American borders. China now hosts over 5,600 locations, making it KFC's largest market. In Japan, KFC has become a Christmas tradition, with families ordering their holiday buckets weeks in advance. The journey from a Kentucky gas station to a global phenomenon is truly remarkable. But that leaves us wondering, what exactly goes into that famous chicken? And where does it come from? While KFC does not openly list its suppliers, investigations by Reuters, Forbes, and the Wall Street Journal have connected the dots. In America, KFC partners with poultry giants like Tyson Foods, Pilgrim's Pride, and Purdue Farms, the heavyweights of the chicken industry. KFC maintains they follow USDA standards, avoid growth hormones, and limit antibiotic use. But their supply chain hasn't been without controversy. In 2012, KFC faced accusations in China about using chickens with growth hormones. The company denied these claims, explaining the birds were simply fast-growing breeds with optimized diets. This incident led to stricter quality control measures across their operations. While KFC sources its chicken from established suppliers, they've had to work hard to maintain consumer trust and address quality concerns. But what happens after those chickens leave the farm? That's our next chapter. The transformation from farm chicken to your KFC bucket involves remarkable precision engineering. These processing facilities represent modern marvels of efficiency. Within their walls, a symphony of technology ensures each piece meets strict standards before reaching your plate. The journey begins with humane stunning, either through electrical methods or carbon dioxide exposure, rendering the birds unconscious before any further handling. This step not only addresses welfare concerns, but also preserves meat quality by reducing stress hormones. After blood drainage, the birds undergo thermal immersion at precisely controlled temperatures, 60 to 65 degrees Celsius. This facilitates the next phase, mechanical defeathering, where specialized rubber fingers remove plumage with impressive thoroughness. Sophisticated imaging systems conduct comprehensive inspections, identifying any abnormalities through machine vision. Birds failing inspection never progress further. Computer-guided robotic systems perform anatomical separation with surgical precision. They extract internal organs, segregating valuable offal from waste products, which find purpose in secondary industries ranging from pet food to industrial applications. Advanced measurement devices then classify each bird according to precise dimensional specifications, ensuring uniform portioning. The process concludes in controlled environments where vacuum sealing technology preserves freshness during transportation to thousands of KFC locations worldwide, ready for transformation into the signature product that has defined the brand for generations. Here's where the real magic happens: the seasoning. The flavor that made KFC famous didn't just appear out of nowhere. It starts with a secret mix of 11 herbs and spices that's so closely guarded, it's never been patented. Why? Because once it's patented, it's public knowledge, and KFC's not taking that risk. To keep it safe, they split the recipe in two. One company gets half, the other gets the other half. Neither knows the full formula. Only when the two parts are finally combined does the magic unfold. But it doesn't end there. Before the chicken hits the spice mix, it's soaked in a brine or buttermilk marinade to lock in moisture and let the flavors soak deep. That's how they keep it juicy, not dry. Then comes the breaded coating, done by hand, of course. Each piece gets pressed into the flour mix 7 times. Not 5, not 6, 7. That's how they get that perfect, crispy crust that stays on during frying. While the exact recipe remains a mystery, food experts suspect it includes ingredients like paprika, black pepper, basil, celery salt, ginger, and of course, MSG, which adds that irresistible kick. And in 2016, Colonel Sanders' nephew, Joe Ledington, found what looked like the original recipe and tested it. He said it tasted 95% like today's KFC chicken. But the real magic happens in the fryer. Let's head there next. Once that chicken's perfectly seasoned and breaded, it's time for the final step, the frying. But we're not talking about your typical deep fryer. KFC uses pressure frying, a technique that Colonel Harlan Sanders himself perfected back in the 1930s. So what makes it different? Instead of frying the chicken in an open fryer, it's sealed in a pressurized environment at 185 degrees Celsius, that's 365 degrees Fahrenheit, for 7 to 10 minutes, depending on the size. The pressure locks in the moisture and ensures the chicken stays juicy while the outside gets that golden, crispy finish, without soaking up all that greasy oil. Unlike competitors like Popeyes, whose chicken has a crunchier crust, KFC's pressure frying gives the meat a signature tenderness while still keeping it crispy. But the frying process isn't over once it's done. Each piece is carefully inspected for color, texture, and crispness. If it doesn't meet KFC's strict standards, it doesn't make it to your plate. And before it gets to you, there's one last step. A heat retention process that ensures the chicken stays hot and fresh all the way from fryer to tray. That's how every bite of KFC chicken tastes like it just came out of the fryer. Crispy, juicy, and full of flavor. Once the chicken's perfectly fried and passes the quality check, KFC has one last job. Getting it to you hot and crispy. Every piece goes through a heat retention process to ensure it stays fresh and sizzling by the time it reaches you. Then, it's carefully packed into custom boxes or trays to keep everything intact and preserve that classic KFC taste. Whether it's a family bucket or a few tenders, everything is sealed to stay fresh. And it's not just chicken. KFC's meals come with crinkle-cut fries, warm biscuits, coleslaw, and dipping sauces to complete the experience. No matter the debates, KFC has nailed the art of turning raw chicken into global comfort food. KFC isn't just a fast food chain. It's a global icon that's been perfecting fried chicken for nearly a century. From a humble gas station kitchen to thousands of high-tech kitchens worldwide, KFC's journey is as bold as its flavor. Over the years, controversies have swirled questions about hormones, antibiotics, or even if it's real chicken. But KFC has always bounced back, tightening its standards and perfecting its process. Today, their chicken undergoes rigorous inspections and secret seasoning methods that make every bite unforgettable. Whether it's pressure fried in the US, a Christmas tradition in Japan, or a random Tuesday night craving, KFC's secret is in its consistency, flavor, and that crispy finger-licking magic. So next time you crack open that red and white box, remember, you're not just eating fried chicken. You're savoring a global phenomenon built on history, innovation, and a whole lot of crispy dedication. Want more behind-the-scenes secrets? Hit that like button and subscribe for more.